Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, Senior Editor over at thekoalition.com.
My name is Lawrence, a.k.a. a punk with toys on all the social medias.
And we are back with Tulsa King, Season 3, Episode 4, Staring Down a Barrel. You know, when I saw this title, the first thing I thought of, I know you probably didn't, but maybe you did, Beastie Boys. Looking down a barrel of a gun. See, there you go. And I was like, oh, you know, from New York at Beastie Boys, it's like, you know, pizza type of shit. It's like, you got to talk about it, you got to know it. But anyway, I saw that. And then when we got into the episode, I'm like, oh, wait, this is staring down literally a barrel of booze. This is not.
I mean, that's what I thought it was, the barrel of the booze.
There you go. I'm sharp as a marble today. So I did not pick that up. No, because, you know, we're thinking gun fights, right? We just talked about it. I want to. Oh, I should have pulled it up.
I was thinking about the barrels of bourbon that they lost.
Barrels of bourbon, the booze. Oh, shout out Will. I think that's Will. I didn't pull it up. I should have pulled it up. But dude popped up in the comments and brought up a good point regarding Tyson's situation, because he was like, "Hey, Dwight went to jail 25 years for not snitching. Freaking, you got not even a few minutes in a stripper with Tyson, and he just gives everything away." Oh yeah. So
okay, but he didn't. Okay, he didn't snitch. He didn't want to see someone get murdered.
No, too bad. This is family. She's not family, man. She's not family. We just went.
That's an innocent, though. That's an innocent, right?
This is a crime family. There's no innocence.
No. The mob is not like that.
Lawrence, if it was you and they did something like that, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take one for the team, and I'll close my eyes and be like, this is it.
Well, I'm just saying, like, isn't the mob like one of their things is no women or children? No, innocent
family,
women or children,
family, women, children, family. She's a stripper that worked at the club. I mean, we don't know there's a past. I don't think there was a past, so it shouldn't apply here. But anyway, the point is, he was like, he should have taken two in the back. And I was like, you know what? You're not wrong. Because if this was a serious crime drama with some of this stuff, and with this, Tyson technically is just a driver. Okay, he's disposable. He's not a made man.
Well,
he's
his
not
crew
one of
is
the
very small. So it's
it's
not like he has.
Oh, I get it.
A bunch of different crew members that he can grab.
Oh, I get that. No, I get it completely. And obviously for the show, he's a main character. There's no way he's going anywhere.
He's annoying. He is annoying. I'll be frank with that.
And it's by design. I think it's by design.
If they killed off Tyson and brought his dad on instead, I'd be happy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the dad stays on as a main.
Well, I expect him to stay on, at least on a recurring role.
I think it'll be more than that. I think he's going to be part of the crew.
I wouldn't be surprised with that either.
Right?
Because he talks about it in this.
You brought it up in the last episode that you think he had a past or something like that, just from the way he was carrying himself and how he was handling all this stuff, right? Was it the last one? It was one of those. I know you hinted that. Yeah, you were like, there's something with him, the way he's carrying himself, the dad, that he's no stranger to all of this. Yeah. And then sure enough, he's not, but hey, let's get into it. But real quick, thank you for everybody who's been sticking around, who's been subbing and commenting and just, checking out the content. We got a bunch of shows, Slow Horses, Gen V, and then we got some other ones in the pipeline. So just want to give you guys a thank you.
Does anyone watch Gen V?
There's like 5%
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I see your numbers. I'm like,
it's horrible. The numbers.
Watching it.
There's more people actually on the podcast format, like Spotify's and all that. So there's a couple hundred on that one, but on YouTube, freaking crickets.
Don't worry. Eventually, we're gonna have a show where there'll be no one watching.
Hey! No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I do look. I always do. I do look at the numbers from
You're not the only one, man.
And I'm just kind of like.
Yeah,
and I'm surprised because it's a pretty popular show, especially amongst like, amongst nerds who are on, And again, I have a slew of toys. I just got like $2,000 worth of toys in the past 2 weeks. So when I call someone else a nerd, but it seems like those are the people that would
No,
be
I
on
get
there
you.
trying to
I get
watch
you.
the stuff. So
And that was the idea. That was something Josh wanted to cover. I'm cool watching it. Wasn't totally into it, but I was like, yeah, let's do it. Why not? But I think also, and then pulling back the curtain a little bit, just our demographic. I think they're not into that. They're into the mob shows, they're into crime dramas like what we're covering here and stuff. When it comes to that, it's clearly that's not something they're interested in. They'll watch all the other stuff, not so much with the superhero.
Yeah.
So it's fine. You never know. It is what it is. Maybe some people get exposed to it.
Everything has been a crapshoot, just the fact that I think when we first did this over on the other channel, we never thought Reacher would do what it did. We never thought Reacher would do what it does. And again, you also get people that tune in for for us, for our banter, and
shout out to Ty. I'm always gonna shout that dude out. He came over from the other channel and he commented and stuff like, "Oh, we got our own stuff." He's like, "All right," and he came over and he's here and he's covering and he jumped in on almost every single show. Chief of War, of course, Momland, and then even with Gen V, he's one of the few. Who's like, oh, you guys are, yeah, that's true. I'm not gonna hide it.
The few, the proud.
Exactly. It's like dust bunnies and then
the slightly viewed.
You see this one dude waves like, "Hey, how you doing?" All right, just checking. That's what you guys are doing here.
It's like those early days, the early punk bands, and they're like, remember playing in front of 3 people.
Oh yeah. Right. It's true. My cousin always tells a story about going to Ozfest when System of the Down was just getting out there, and he was like, it was for the merch stands, all the bands are there, huge lines, and then he saw one in the corner had no line, and it was for System of the Down, and he's like, oh, all right. He's like, oh, let me see, and here's a CD. He's like, oh, you want? We'll sign it. It's not a big deal. It's like, oh, okay. Signs it. Next, after that, boom, they blow up. Right, chops through all the tracks, and then the next time he went to see, it was like you couldn't even get near the line, and he's like, well, I got it signed. So a year things can change. So anyway, let's get into this episode. This was what do you want to call this? This wasn't a filler. This was setting things up, but I would say that it's not delivering with the action. Like it set things up where, all right, we're building for a battle, right? This is happening. And then even toward the end, and we didn't get it, but
there's not a lot of action. It is building up to, I would say, a very big climax, considering it has been renewed for season 4, and we're already seeing towards the end of this episode that maybe there's stuff that's going to be put in the heads of Bill and try and get Bill to swerve a certain way. But we also already have Dwight, who's working with the feds because he has to.
So much going on. There's a lot of different directions they can go with.
And I do have a theory that I want to bring up when we get to the end of the episode.
Okay, that's cool. We start off real quick with Dwight wanting to know what the hell happened, because this is kind of crazy. Just lost all this stuff here. They tell the story, what happened with Tyson at the strip club. Dwight, kind of weirdly, he was like, hey, this is family. You weren't supposed to leave him. It's like, well, what do you mean leave him? I mean, we went with him to the strip club and he went into the back room. You can't be with the guy every moment, but whatever.
But it sounds like they left him at the strip club. That's what I was taking, because they're like, if you would have been there, and I think we discussed that too, that we were like, wait a minute, like they didn't.
Yeah, did they? Oh, so you're saying
explain where they were at.
So that once he went into the back, the champagne room, they
just got annoyed with him.
They just left. They just left him there. All right. Yeah, well, Goodie had his car, so I guess that's how they went about it. But still,
and I remember I brought this up. I'm like, did they just leave? Because Goodie did have his own car. So did they just leave him? Again, douchebag move if you did. I'm kind of with Dwight on that. But his sister brings up, like, hey, where were you at? Had you not just left, this wouldn't have happened. And she's absolutely correct. But at the same time, he can't just not leave when he's supposed to.
I was expecting some more punishment for Tyson, but he's like, no, you got to fix it. You fix it. It's like,
That was an odd line. He basically says, you need to fix it, and then says, slate cleaned. Was he trying to say, if you fix it, slate's cleaned, or was he saying slate is clean? That's what I couldn't figure out.
I'm trying to figure out how he's going to fix it. Because, all right, so we see that Bodhi and Grace were going to work over on the internet side, try to track if he's trying to move things on the website with some stuff. We have Joanne, who is going to check distribution to see if he's trying to move, if Dunmeyer is trying to move the barrels in some way. And that's why I was like, oh, fix this. So what, track down Cole and figure that out?
Yeah, I'm a little confused on the whole like they find out who's going to be buying this or whatever. No, okay. So when he said about when he said about fixing it, and you're like, how is he supposed to fix it? Dwight called Mark, his dad.
Yeah,
he told him because he knew Mark, because Mark's already decided, Pop or whatever you want to call him. He's already decided, like, hey, I don't want you doing this, son, but if you're going to do it, you need to take responsibility. And then we find out a lot more later on. So,
we found out a lot.
That's kind of how I took it, looking back at it now after the episode is over. But after all that, as Dwight goes out, here comes Bill. I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Am I the only one that has a problem with just his name's just Bill? It's as boring as possible.
They have to give him a cool nickname. We got Dwight with the General. You notice they haven't called him the General. No one's calling him that anymore.
Bill did.
When?
In this episode.
Holy crap.
Because I was thinking the same thing. And then he said something like, you're the General or something like that.
Oh, see, I haven't heard it. Because they were dropping that for the past 2 seasons. They kept saying, hey, General. And then all of a sudden.
I was thinking the same thing because we've never referred to him as the General. We always call him Dwight. Every now and then we might say Manfredi, but no, yeah. Bill did call him the General because I was thinking it too. I think it was actually in this part right here. But when Bill shows up,
Buckle Bill, you got that big belt buckle, just walking around, hey, Buckle Bill,
it's just Bill. Like it just seems like it's just
it doesn't have no kick to it. No disrespect to you Bills out there who are watching. That's right.
Especially if you're in the mob. Especially if you're in the mob.
Somebody was about to put a nasty comment. You don't like my name.
So Bill said I don't know how he's already heard these rumors that they lost some stuff or whatever. And then Dwight tells him, we lost it all.
No, he came over at the rumor about Armand.
Oh,
that was the rumor. He said, I heard a rumor about Armand and that maybe he's talking. No.
They're bringing up Armand way too much because I thought maybe he is dead, right? Maybe he's left the show and they just had him go off. They're bringing him up way too much because normally we know, like, when someone gets rid off the show, if they even address it, it's a quick blurb, and every now and then the name may come up again. They've brought him up way too much, and by important characters.
Yeah, they bring him up all the time, and usually, if the character is still relevant on the show, they'll just splice in a scene to him walking somewhere, doing something random. It doesn't have to have any dialogue, just to show.
Yeah, having his wife show up mad. Where's he at? I know like, there's a lot of stuff that it's like you could have, if he left the show for whatever reason, you could have written him off really quick. He ran off with the kids, right? Boom, he's not dead. It means you can finally, but they're not doing that. They're bringing him up too much.
Well, he's missing now. Remember, he didn't pick up the kids. So, now he's definitely missing. The only person that I can connect with Armand at this point is the agent. That eventually the agent will come clean. And it's like,
the agent talked about him.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, exactly. He talked about him.
Yeah.
And maybe later on.
Musso talked about him. He's like, how do you know about Armand? Again, the agent knows everything.
Yeah, he's an agent, government agent. There you go. They always watch it. Big Brother's watching.
But anyway, so this is where he kind of tells everything what happened. And then he also tells them, and a couple of your guys have been offed, which I think you and I were both like, what? Like, which it makes sense that they would have had him, like they needed him for the muscle. It would have made sense that those guys were brought in to guard the barrels of bourbon, but we never saw this. It was never addressed, at least not that I remember.
Nope.
Or wait, you know what? There were guys, weren't there? There were guys, I think.
At the end, there may have been guys there, but again, we watched the screen with people, and we weren't sure if they were missing. So I went and watched it from Paramount, and it's not there. There is no scene showing at the end of some guys just laying on the ground. They were like, no, we're going to take care of Tyson. They start shooting at the car. We didn't see dead bodies. They never showed that. So this is either something that happened off camera, or maybe they decided not to do this scene. I don't know. But yeah, also, how does Bill not know that he's missing some guys? That's the one thing you would think they would call in.
You're supposed to report, right? Like report. So either way, that was kind of weird. But then we have Tyson showing up to his dad, and his dad pretty much lets him know, hey, you need to fix this. How do you know this? Like, Dwight called me.
He says we. That's the key there, because I didn't catch it until we did the rewatch of that part. And he says, we need to fix this. Like, oh, Dad's getting involved in this. So
well, I think Dad is more worried about if something happens to him, Mom is going to blame him the rest of his life.
Of course. Plus the guilt, knowing that his son is involved in all this, and he's not there to help him. But I agree. We brought it up before. The Tyson character, I want to see him grow. I want him at this point where in season 3, year 3, you would think we saw Grace. We just talked about that, right? Grace grew.
Yeah.
She changed. Her character. Bodhi has.
I feel like the only redeeming quality that Tyson has in this show is his banter that he has with Bodhi at times. Like, that's the only redeeming.
Yeah.
But you're right. His character doesn't seem to have had growth.
No, still the same Uber driver he was in season 1. You would think with everything that's happened, with the shootings, with his dad almost being blown up, he would just take things a little more serious. But he's still just goofing around and just being real nonchalant. I mean, even there was that one little argument with Bodie, and he was like, "Why are you always coming down on me?" It's like, everybody's coming down on you because you're screwing up. You're still like he's like the little kid of the group at this point. And hey, Dwight just keeps giving him chances. If anything, I would have fine. You can't kill him. But you know what? You sit this one out. Take care of the shop. Make sure things are going well here.
That's why I think he got his dad involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, the babysitter.
Dad's a babysitter. So he's gonna go help him out. They don't really explain how he's gonna help him out, but it looks like they're going to follow. What was it the stripper? Right? Was that it? Who were they following?
No, so they went to the bingo hall.
That's where
it sounded like they were going to rip off the bingo hall or do something with the bingo hall. And that's when he sees.
That's when they got to. Because I don't want to jump ahead, but I was just trying to figure, because in that scene, he didn't say what the plan was. Yes, you have to fix it. But where do you start? Where do you start with this?
Yeah, it's the bingo hall.
Yeah. But there goes that one.
So then Dwight and Bill show up at the house of we find out was the driver.
Yeah. They looked at the footage, the camera footage, security footage showed the license plate, and then from there they could see who was registered. And
and Bill goes in because he's like, I'm going to take care of this. Now, I don't think Bill had any intention of shooting this guy, but he basically tells him, hey, you're going to tell us where they took it. He's like, they'll skin me alive. He's like, dude, I'm gonna put a bullet in your eye. Like, he's like, you're not understanding. And then he says, fine, I need an hour to get away. And it sounds like Bill's like okay with it, but then as he moves, he goes to pull on him, and Bill ends up shooting him.
That was surprising. And then out of frustration, he pops him one more time. And I was like, dude, you made me do this.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to pop up. Justified. Look at this. Come on now. This image right here. This is a very justified image. The pose, standing out with the gun, with the buckle, the light in the back. Come on. Justified. Yeah, but he's pissed. He's pissed.
And then we jump to Vince back in New York, going to meet with Ray. And lets him know that, hey, I've heard these rumors that You can't really, not that they can't trust Dwight's crew in Tulsa, but I forget how he worded
brought
it.
up the booze. He said that he's now doing booze, and it's bourbon. It's
but
like
he basically said that because of the crew not being as tight knit, that's the reason why they can get to him. And then he gets in with the booze, and kind of explains to him how old the booze is, and this is where Ray's like, okay, now that's interesting, or something like that. I don't really get that.
He's setting things in motion because I think he wants to. Because then at the end, of pretty much Ray was like, "Yeah, all right. Thanks for the info." Basically, just setting him up that if something happens, and let's say they have to send somebody else to be a representative of Ray, this is where Vince is trying to get into that role. And I think later on, as we find out when Ray calls Bill saying, "Hey, if you need help," and this and that, who do you think he's gonna send to help? It's gonna be Vince. So I think that's what they're going with this whole thing. But there's a lot of moving pieces that I don't think are going to get played out, or we're not going to materialize.
I think a lot of them are going to lead into season 4.
I
don't think it's leading up for the end of this season. I think it's leading into season 4, which again, there's a lot to get into.
We only have 2 more episodes. This is the only issue that concerns me. 2 episodes left, and it really doesn't seem like anything has developed into what we're expecting, unless it all happens in just like a flash, like boom.
Or this was always meant to be like 2 seasons.
2-parter.
It's basically season 3 and season 4 are 1 real season, because we don't do 21 episode seasons anymore. We do 6 episodes.
Yeah, man, imagine they did that. I don't know if we could do this if they did 21. It's like, all right, we're gonna cover this show. We got 26 episodes, and no, man, my throat hurt. I don't think we'll ever do that.
When you look back at those TV shows, they were not serialized, right? Even though when you look back at like Law and Order, right? Like, they do harken back to other episodes, but they're not serial. It almost seems like it'd be hard to do a serial and have that many episodes. But you look at stuff like Justified, The Shield, those are long seasons, or fairly long seasons.
The Walking Dead, they did that also, same thing.
Yeah, but they're just zombies.
Whoa, just zombies.
They're just fighting zombies.
Can't offend the zombies. All right. Let's see. Let's get there. All right. So let's see. Where are we up to now?
So again, back to Bodhi. So Bodhi is sitting there, and the guy that killed his friend is looking over his shoulder, and he's just totally messing with him.
Oh man.
Like, he's totally messing with him, and he's got his number out there, and then here comes Grace, and she's wondering what's going on. And then this guy, I don't even know what his name is, he gets a call
for Bill,
and she's like, "You're really enjoying this, aren't you? Like, is this really worth it?"
Because it's like, so because the whole point is like he's saying he's rerouting all these orders. He's messing things up for the Dunmeyers, right? He can do all stuff on the computer. And the guy was like, "Oh, you're great with the computer. What about my life? I got this guy calling me trying to repo my car. Hey, maybe you could fix that." And then next he gets a call, and he was like, "What? No, it's not my pool. What are you talking about?" Grace instantly knows he's doing this. She's like, "You need counseling." He's like, "This is fine. I'm okay." So yes, he's doing all this hack stuff, but he's also messing with this guy's life.
Yes,
that's fine. That's harmless. He's not emptying out his bank account or anything like that.
And that's the type of filler. I know we talk about like, oh boy, that was a filler. That's the type of filler that I enjoy, because first off, it gives Bodhi it gives him character. Like, he's in a bad spot that he doesn't want to be in. He just wanted to have his weed shop, but if he's gonna be here, he might as well mess with this guy because he knows he can't get rid of him.
Killed his friend. I'll never let that go.
It creates character in Bodhi, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And the fact that Grace fully understands it, and he's like, "Hey, I can multitask, dude." Right? And then we flip to Cal meeting with Margaret at a restaurant and she basically lays it out. You're not likable to be governor, but I am.
Yeah. And he's single.
What?
And the fact that he's single, he's a bachelor. That is something that Where was it? It was a while ago. It was some political race or something. And some people were talking about the do's and don'ts. And it's like, oh, you can never be single. That'll never work. You can't do it.
I
It's
don't
like people
understand
want
that.
they want families, and because it's that whole idea that if you're single, that means you're running around, you're dating, and then that can make things messy. Because let's say you're in and out of relationships, there's breakups that gets into tabloids. It builds drama that they don't want. Look at the Kennedy. Look at the Kennedy and all the drama with Marilyn Monroe and all that type of stuff.
It's funny that people say, yeah, but he was married. But
it makes it even worse. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people say that, but say what you want about Derek Jeter, right? I'm not a Yankee fan. He stayed single. So when there were all these rumors of he was sleeping with this actress and this, it didn't matter because he wasn't, he wasn't.
Mark this moment. Where's the timestamp? I got to put this. We got the guy from Michigan shouting out Derek Jeter from the New York Yankees. Are you kidding me?
Remember, he went to Michigan.
Oh, damn, you're going back. You do remember
he's a Michigan fan. He's from Kalamazoo. But it goes back to Jaromir Jagr, all right? Pittsburgh Penguins. He played. There's a famous picture that there was a girl after they slept together in the morning. She took a selfie to try and blackmail him, and he was like, "Dude, I'm single. Like, you're not getting anything from me. I can do whatever I want." And she ends up looking like the. I think you can do whatever he wants.
I don't know. Hey, in the comments, if anybody thinks there's another reason why politicians have to be married, higher up.
I think, in all honesty, I think that when they are single, everything that you said, I think if the guy is almost 50 and he's single, they assume that he's gay. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but we know there's a lot of.
But what if it's
a lot of rumors that happen, and some people do have a problem with that.
In fact, there's a show going on now. It's a Black Dove, another spy show similar to this. And the guy was single, and they put in a spy to play as his wife. And sure enough, she married him, has kids, and she's still a spy. So that could be a fear that they have. They're like, shoot, we can't control this. I don't know. Yeah. And then also people like family men. It's easier to show up.
People just enjoy being single.
That's it. That's true. It's just, but you know what we don't enjoy? We don't enjoy AI. We talked about this before. We don't like AR. No, we're really against the AI content and narrated stuff. And next, we got Grace. This is very random. That Grace is like, hey, you're good with the computer. Can you make this? She wants to make this AI guy named Jasper sell the bourbon. What's up with this? Does this make sense to you?
No, because you could have had any. Okay, first off, look at Mitch. He's a good-looking guy, long, nice, flowing hair. Right? He's a
that voice. Guy. Yeah, got some wrath.
The voice. Why wouldn't you could have him? I know you can't have Manfredi because
he's got a pass.
What he is. But you look at him, he's a good-looking guy. Hell, you even look at like Goodie, right? Goodie is a nice, older, distinguished-looking man. But Mitch, of all of them, again, like if you said, hey, who do you want to be the face of your crew? I'd be like, well, Mitch is one good-looking guy. All right. I probably shouldn't have said anything about being like where there's a stigma of people almost 50 that are single or gay. And then I'm talking about Mitch being a good-looking guy.
Oh boy.
I didn't understand. You could have gone out and found anyone and said, hey, we want to hire you to, sell our bourbon. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't understand the whole AI thing.
I don't get that either. Why are they bringing that? Unless they're trying to splice in something that's in the now and the zeitgeist right now, right? It's all about AI and making AI videos and all this. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't like it. And to throw this in here and then later on we'll bring it up when Joanne I said this was happening. Remember, I even said, I was like, what happens when people find out? They're not going to like this. And she even brings up, what happens when people find out? Are they going to be pissed? No, they'll be okay with it. I don't think so. No one likes to be duped.
If the bourbon is good, if the Arnold Palmer is good, like it then it doesn't matter. But if they find out they're getting ripped off, then yeah, they're going to be upset about it.
Yeah, if they get ripped off, but it's still, I'm not for it. I'm not for it. But hey, this is part of the story. We're gonna add this in the category as a little side thing, which I think is gonna bite them in the ass later. But hey, this is what's happening.
There's a reason they're showing it. It's
Yeah, yeah.
gotta
Oh
bite
yeah.
them, right? It's
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
come back to bite them.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Or it ends up being some sort of, let's say, some comedy spot later on at the
Yeah.
end of it, right?
How crazy, how funny would it be if there is somebody out there who looks just like Jasper, who comes out? It's like,
Wow.
yo, they just stole my likeness. They're not even paying me. And it's like, oh, what? We generated this AI person. Because
Yeah.
remember, this is the thing. Grace picked all the images, right? She was like, oh, you have to make his hair look this way, do this. What if this is just someone that she saw and just it's recreating an AI?
I'm looking
That
at IMDb right now to make sure that Jasper isn't here.
I would. What do you? Oh shoot! What do you think? I think that's an actor though playing Jasper.
I don't know. I'm looking. I
He's
don't
not
see it.
listed.
I don't see any IMDb
Oh
listing
man! All
because he
right.
had lines. So I mean, he would be on IMDb. But again, we also know how that works. Anyway,
Yep.
we quickly see Musso called Dwight, and he tells him, "Hey, do not." He's like, "Good job with what you did. Do not screw this up because of some, trying to get your moonshine back." And Dwight's like, "How do you know?" And he's like, "Dude, don't worry about how I know." It's like, I think we've all just like figured out, like Musso, and I would assume probably other
Mhm.
other FBI agents that have informants know everything, which probably
Yeah,
means they have somebody inside that's feeding him this information.
yeah, yeah. He's being watched. He's being watched. Definitely being watched. And that's the whole issue here is that he knows all this, and he's like, "Oh, don't get into this whole mob war and all this stuff. You know it's gonna happen. You know that. Then if you know that he stole the
Well,
booze,
he
you
just
know,
wants
man,
to get
Freddie, Dwight. You know how he
he just
rolls.
wants to get this guy taken care of, right? Don't do it while you're in the middle of doing this. I need this from you, right? So it just, again, it was more of filler. But it is letting, once you and I talked about it last week, like Musso knows exactly what's going on. He
There's a
brought up
lot of moving
Armand.
pieces. If we were to throw this up on the board, if people were trying to figure, all right, so now we got this AI Jasper thing. Then we got Ray and Vince dealing with their thing, right? Then we got the agent with the watchmaker, right? So
Yeah,
there's three side stories, and then of course the main story with Dunmeyer and Dwight and dealing with all that. There's a lot happening.
you're absolutely right.
You
There's a
know,
lot.
maybe a lot going on here.
But then where am I at here?
I think we got the Dunmeyer and Cole, right? I think that's what I got here.
Well, let's see. We still got.
Yeah, because we had the whole Dwight and Grace. I mean, Bodie and Grace, right? They were talking about the whole thing, and then we get into.
We did miss that Tyson
Dunmeyer.
sees. We missed that Tyson sees that he got played by.
No, we're still getting there. That's later on. We still haven't gotten there.
Not according to this. I have Tyson calling Dwight and it says he was played by Serenity.
Because I feel like that's toward the end. That's toward the end of the episode because he waits for the entourage and the whole thing. Because remember there was this scene right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when Jeremiah's there with Cole, and I mean we're with his dad, Cole and Jeremiah. There you go, and then just telling him, "Say, hey, we got this. We're good. We got it stored down at the docks. You want to come down and taste this? Maybe later." So and just doesn't acknowledge him. Cole is waiting for that thank you, and he's not getting it.
So Dunmeyer pretty much sees his son as a screw up. Like he's succeeding in spite of his son. That's how
there's got to be more to this story that we don't know, and I don't know if there's enough time in these 2 episodes to explain it. Something must have happened with Cole to put him on the poo list for his dad, that he doesn't care about him. Something must have happened. Is this a peacemaker situation? You know that you killed your brother, or you had a sibling and you screwed up, and he's in jail because of you.
I mean, I guess it could, but or it can go back to Mobland, right? The oldest brother.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he literally gets cut up with this chainsaw, and they're just like, eh.
Yeah, you gotta get. Well, he
did cost me like $50 million or something like that. What, $5 million, wasn't it?
It was a good amount, but man, but there's something going on here, that we don't know. but he definitely doesn't seem to care too much about Cole, and he's not acknowledging him, which makes me wonder, can we see Cole flip? Could he flip against his dad? I could see that happening if he can take control of the family. If he's like, you know what, I'm done with this. You don't respect me. I'm making all the moves. He could probably convince the rest of the guys in the gang, follow me. The old man is going down. And we have the same type of deal with Chicky. Remember, because that was a Chicky situation.
Yeah.
And then Chicky took it upon himself to drown his dad. So I could see something like that happening here, especially if they want to keep this actor around going into next season. We'll see.
So where are we at?
Yeah. So then now that was really quick. We had the Dwight gets a phone call. Right. There was that was the whole thing with the agent. That's when that happened. Right. So then that was quick. And then we had Bodhi, Grace, and Joanne. That's when they show Joanne.
Yep.
The AI guy, he's got some lines now. Already has 100,000 followers and stuff. Come on now, they're paying for them. Come on,
those are bots. All right, those are bots. You're paying for those as a YouTuber.
That's it.
Not hard to figure out.
The day we have 50 or 100,000 overnight, then you know it, because it's impossible.
There are ways to do it. I will just say that. I don't do it.
But here's the thing. All right, fine. They said there's on all those platforms 50, 100,000. But for what? What is he doing? And this is all in one day, right? This is not multiple.
Well, he's creating AI, so he's able to, again, bots. If people don't know what bots are,
they know.
Well, there's people that don't. Again, it's their computer. Like, I can't call them computer viruses, but they're just
there to fill space. They fill a need. Hey, you need this, you need that. There you go. They don't put the comments.
It gives you fake numbers when it comes to bots like this, right? So it'll give you fake numbers. So you look like you're more popular. Yeah. That's where you see a lot of YouTubers. And hey, who are you? Hey, if this guy's doing a review and he has 100,000 followers, or this guy has 100, who are you going to listen to? Your mind tells you, well, someone has 100,000. Clearly, they're there for a reason. Doesn't mean that they know.
Well, Joanne's not familiar with any of this stuff. So her main concern, though, is what happens if people find out? Are they going to be upset? Because they haven't gone live with this official video where it's him drinking the bourbon, right? Because he's going to be the spokesperson. And she said, Grace's like, oh, no one's going to care. It's going to be fine. The bourbon's going to speak for itself once they start buying it. Because I don't know. I was at first I said to you, I was like, no, they're going to be pissed. But
if people start drinking it, if people start drinking it and then they find out, hey, yeah, this was a bot that was like, people aren't going to care if it's good. If it sucks, then yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of YouTube stuff where it's an AI voice, because
that upsets me. That when it happens, I feel cheated, and it's like there's different reasons, right? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but we know there's different reasons. Maybe English isn't your first language, and it comes off wrong. You type better and you write better than you speak within the English language. I could get that, or you're trying to mask your voice, and so you use an AI and the whole thing. But still, it just doesn't. It throws me off.
No, again, there's people that I listen to, and you see them, you hear their voice. I'm assuming they're not AI, and you feel more connected because this person is actually putting in the work. And I guess if you're creating it like that, you're still putting in work, but it is way different for someone who is showing their voice, showing their face, and then they're taking you through the research that they did. So I do understand that, but I don't. Again, people are drinking the bourbon because it's $150 a bottle, right? Not because.
That's true. Exactly. I don't, unless somebody else comes at them, let's say another influencer, because they brought that up. So why don't we just bring in a bourbon influencer? It's like, no. It could be other factors, money and stuff like that. But one of those could come after them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But now we jump over to Tyson and Mark in the car. This is the part now.
Yeah.
Where they're hanging out, they're talking. Mark opens up about his past. That's the most important part of their whole little segment. You guessed it before, now it's been confirmed. He was a wild guy. He did the drugs, he did the car boosting, he ran with a rough crowd.
Yeah.
Tyson is kind of like happy about this. He's small. Oh, Dad, that's so great. Like, oh man, again, slap him on the back of the head. Right? He's like, yo, boy, don't you hear this shit? Like, listen, I met your mom. She put me on the right path. I got the, a stand-up job. He's a plumber. It's a respectable job. I have my kid. I didn't bring that life over to your life, but yet his son still found his way into that life. So he's here to help him out.
And Tyson says something about his dad. He says something that's negative. I forget how he said it, but basically said he's whipped.
Is that what he said?
I forget how. No, he didn't say he was whipped, but how he.
I wrote down that he said that Dad was like, "Oh, you missed this. You missed it." It's like, really, you missed it?
Yeah, but he said something before that, and it was just like, this is the negative culture that there shouldn't be. Like, this is someone who got away from it. You should praise that rather than be like, hey, you're a total sellout, right? So either way, but yeah, and I think this is why we're going to see him more. He admits he misses it, and he's spending quality time with his son, if you want to call it quality time.
I hope something bad doesn't happen. I want this character to stick around. We want Mark to stick around. And I don't want something tragic. They already played that card, right? With the car bombing. They could have cleaned him off.
Killed him off right there.
Yeah.
And that's when he was less important. And the fact that Dwight contacts him to reach out to Tyson when he's already basically said, like, I don't want to be any. Again, they took care of people. They unalived people together. There's a bond. I don't know if that's true, because I never unalived anyone with my dad.
Well, there we go. All right. Well, it's true. Hey, there's still time. There's still time. But
I'm not trying to, right?
Okay, all right. You can play some Call of Duty together. You can do it virtually.
But this is where they see what's her face?
The stripper. What's this called?
The stripper.
The stripper.
Serenity. She's leaving. She gets in Cole's car, and they're like, "Let's follow." Now, I'm sorry. Like, there's no other car. Here's plumber's van, and it follows you down this really weird dirt road. I mean, you don't need to be a spy to be like, hey, I think that car is following. But
at least we find out that he was played from the beginning. It was all set up, and they knew that Tyson, whether he is a frequent visitor of the strip club and the stripper, I don't know, but they knew for some reason that he was going to end up in the champagne room, and they were going to get him alone, and that's it right there. So
they follow him. They call Dwight, say, "Hey, we got the booze. Find out where it's at." And then, I mean, I found this odd that you had Mark that was going to go down there with crowbars. And Tyson was the one like, no, we're gonna wait. And then of course they show up just like, oh, hey, look,
ta-da. The cavalry arrives, because that's the whole thing.
That was kind of weird. And of course they kind of explain what's going on. Maybe this is where Bill says, "Hey, General, what's the plan?" I forget, but he does say General. And then we see Dunmeyer. It's weird saying Dunmeyer and then Cole, considering that's their last name, but I think we all get it who Dunmeyer is. And they give him some of the bourbon. They crack open one of the barrels. What's the name of the episode again? Staring down the barrel.
Staring the barrel.
Not the gun.
Not the gun.
And he drinks it. And when he says, "Hey, there's one person we have to thank," I thought he was going to thank the guy that they took care of, right?
I thought it was going to be the stripper. I thought he was going to toast the stripper because I thought he was going to say, "This one's for you."
Jeremiah has this, and Jeremiah is Dunmeyer.
Yeah.
No matter what you say, he did have this attachment to Cleo's dad. So I thought that's who he was going to thank. But he thanks God. And Cole thought it was going to be him, and you can see the disappointment.
The camera shot right there alone. They were setting it up so you can see both of them in frame and see his reaction. And he was waiting for it. He had his head down. I was like, "Go ahead, Dad. This is it. Say I'm the man. Say I'm the man." Nope.
This is where you can say this is a filler, because Jeremiah goes on and on and on and on. And I don't think that's a filler because the longer they went on with him talking about it and then saying God, and it builds up the frustration in Cole that he is seeing that, you know, and again, religion is very important to people, and there are some people that, hey, it's God and then my family, and if that's who you are, that's on you. I'm not going to judge you. And clearly that's what Dunmeyer is, but this is where you see Cole have a problem because why wouldn't he thank him? He wasn't able to find it. Cole was the one that created this plan. Now, this plan really wasn't the greatest. It all worked out because, man, Freddy's crew is a bunch of idiots.
Well, there was a lot. There was a lot with this one. They didn't really explain too much of how Cole separated from his dad when they were all inside. There was two little things that we went over.
He just walked away. I mean,
right? The Cleo and Mitch thing, that was really quick. That was there was no point in bringing that up really because she felt guilty. He wasn't even there for the whole thing, but she didn't want to get him involved. There was that, but then we also got with Cal and Mitch. Right, she's trying to get him into office. We went over that whole thing. Just trying to close this up here because when that happens, after that scene where they drink the bourbon and stuff, and we see that's when Dunmeyer, right? Jemai goes outside with everybody, his crew, and then we see Dwight and his crew, and they have like the standoff outside. We're expecting for something to happen, and I was expecting Cole to be there. When did they find time to grab Cole? You know, he was right next to him.
No, he wasn't. Cole walks out.
Yeah, he walks out, but I guess I caught him when he walked out. All right.
Yeah, he walked out by himself, and he walked by the semi, and that's when they took him hostage. Then when Jeremiah comes out with these, with Crystal, what's her name?
The stripper. What's this guy? That's it, man. Does it really matter? I mean, we don't know.
It does because now it's gonna drive. And I just said it too.
Man. But you think she doesn't even have a speaking role in this? She got her paycheck from that first episode, and that's it. Because you get extra for speaking roles if you're an extra.
And we have another guy who doesn't have any speaking. Bigfoot. He has a gun too.
Bigfoot's there.
He basically says, "Hey, we'll trade you his life, him for the booze." And Jeremiah's like, that's worth 150 million.
He doesn't count it as a trade. He was like, this isn't an even trade.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you didn't understand. The brain stay in his head. Okay, you're not getting a dead body. I'm keeping your boy alive. Still doesn't care.
No, and this is why I think like Jeremiah just sees him as a screw up. But eventually he says, that's fine. He says, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to get my stuff back. And we see them. Yeah, they see him drive off in the semi. So this is what I think is going to happen. I think at the end of the season, Cole is going to unalive his dad.
Has to.
And not to take over, but just out of the frustration of how his dad is treating him. Not like, hey, I'll take out my dad. I just think it's going to be, he's going to take care of his dad in the end. I don't think it has anything to do with like trying to take over the crew. Not saying he might not end up taking over it, but I don't think it's going to be like some deal between, Dwight's crew and stuff. Hey, let me take care of them. I think it's going to be a frustration. I'm done with you. Boom. It's hard to say that because this Cole guy, I've seen him on, SEAL team. And I guess you could say he's a young and upcoming actor, but for me to sit there and say that Dunmeyer, when this is Robert Patrick, I mean, this is the Liquid Terminator.
He's busy. He's busy.
Yeah, a lot of people might say, like, hey, what else has this guy ever done? This guy has done a litany of things, right?
He's still in Peacemaker, which is gone, but
he took over for on the X-Files. He was on Sons of Anarchy.
He's people know him.
Yeah. And again, I know his big role was obviously
I mean, we could
Terminator.
cheat then. I guess we could just look to see for season 4 because that's already posted. If they've already released at least some of the casting that's confirmed to return
Yeah,
for
but they
that.
don't always show everything.
That's true.
But
That's true.
anyway,
They don't.
that's just my theory. I think of what might happen. Like Cole, or it goes the other way. That Robert Patrick Jeremiah just ends Cole because he's like, you know what? You've been holding me down. You've been holding me
Whoa.
back. I don't need this. He's sending a message to Dwight and them. Hey, no one is off limits.
No. I just can't. I want to know the backstory. I hope in the next episode we get more of why he feels the way he does about Cole. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change much. But here's the thing. A lot of people probably forgot about this. Whatever happened to the whole thing with Cole saving Spencer? Remember in the parking lot? That never get brought. They never brought that up again.
We
It's
haven't
just
seen Spencer again.
Oh, I thought we did inside the bar talking and doing that
We
whole
might have
thing
saw her for a second,
with
but
Cliff. Yeah, she's still there, but
he's had
she didn't get
no
fired.
purpose at all in this
No,
season.
no. They put her way back in the pecking order of TV time here, and they don't even bring that up. And Cole, I thought the whole point of showing us that was that Cole was going to keep going back,
more about
dating her,
Armand,
doing something.
who hasn't been on at all.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. And you know what, people, I'm going to do some investigating. I want to see if I can find out some more stuff about what's going on with the Armand. Could be two factors. One, maybe he did leave the show and this is their way of filling in the blanks regarding him and then eventually say that he's dead or whatever. Or two, he's filming something else and was not available to show up here, or it could be a health issue. We saw that happen with Spartacus many years ago when the main character wound up getting cancer and they had delays, all kinds of weird things. So there could be other factors playing into it, but the fact that he keep name dropping him and instead of just writing him off, that's the weird. That's what I'm baffling
saying,
to us.
Like you could have just said, hey, you know what? He went MIA, right? And then, okay, you can either decide that maybe later on he's dead, maybe you bring him back, or it doesn't even matter. He ran away, right? But the fact that they keep bringing him back, and as I mentioned, his wife shows up, there's got to be some sort of role for him coming up, whether it be at the end of this season or going into next season.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We only got 2 more episodes of this season. So again, everybody, thanks for sticking with us.
Wait a minute. There's a couple things that happen. First off, we get the ultimate filler of Dwight and Margaret in bed.
Oh,
that was just ultimate filler. But at the end of the episode, we have Bill driving, and he gets a call from Ray.
Oh yeah, that's right. The call from Ray.
And I feel like this is where Ray is trying to put the seeds in because he talks about how wonderful his grandfather.
His grandpa, he works with his granddad and his dad, and it's like, oh, that's news to us. Ray, you just popped up in season 3. Okay, I can understand if they would have name dropped him in the other ones, and we're like, oh yeah, everyone kept talking about this dude. Now we get to see him, but no, they're making it seem like he was always there. He's a big boss.
Well, no, because it went back to how Bill grew his family. So again, it's one of those things. It seems like they're trying to,
it's a wedge. Yeah, they want to build that connection, and if you need help, don't worry. Because again, Ray doesn't know much. He knows only what Vince is saying about. Dwight doesn't have a good operation going out there and the whole thing, and he's dealing with the booze, and so maybe this is clearly what's happening. It's like, hey, if you need help, Bill, I can send somebody to help you deal with whatever problems you're having, if that is a problem. But I don't think Bill is going to flip. I don't see that. I don't see it happening. Also because he's out there in the Midwest and he doesn't want to get New York involved. He didn't want to get them involved before. He was cool with cutting them out once this deal was put together. He never came up to Dwight and said, oh, we got to get New York involved. We can't with the booze. We can't just do this on our own. No,
as aggravated as Bill gets with Dwight, he seems to he knows this guy is going to stand by me.
Yeah.
Although he is working with the FBI, they probably wouldn't like that. Either way,
if that comes out, he's an informant. But hey, he already came clean, Dwight, with the sheriff, remember, on the road, which upset me because I don't see that as a thing you would just disclose that the dude shows up. He didn't even ask him. He was like, "Who's this guy?" He's like, "Oh yeah, they questioned me, but something." No, he says, "I'm an informant." Yeah, that's what I do. What the hell? Come on now. But yeah, now that's how that ends. I found that a no factor. That thing with Margaret and Dwight.
Oh, that was nothing. That's why I didn't even want to talk.
Yeah. I was like, what's the point?
Ray contacting Bill, that is important because I think that's going to play down the road.
Yeah, down the road. We'll see. We got 2 more episodes down this road. So again, thanks everybody for sticking around, hanging out with us. Go ahead, comment. What's your thoughts on this season? You're enjoying it? Don't care? How do you think this is going to play out? Just let us know, and we'll be back for episode 5. I was about to say 6. I'm like, wait, what am I? 5, yeah. And then, of course, after this, we also have Slow Horses. That's also on Wednesday, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we're doing. All right, everybody. See you next week. Peace.
Take care.